بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hello everybody. This is Mr. Nabil Adam from Al Mubarakiyah Secondary School. This is a recorded lesson for grade 11. Today I'm going to present Unit 6, Lesson 3. This is a lesson on Workbook, page number 38 and 39. Please open your workbook so that you can answer all the questions after studying them. First, let's start brainstorming with these questions, talking about mobile phones. What are the most common uses of mobile phones? We can use mobile phones as watches, alarm clocks, calendars, reminders, radios, cameras, TV, calculators. 2. What are the advantages of using mobile phones? We use mobile phones to chat with friends, to call for help, to browse websites, to send and receive messages, to record videos, to take photos. So our mobile phones make our life easier. What are the disadvantages of using mobile phones? Using mobile phones can waste our time and money, and it can cause car accidents if people use mobile phones while driving. Students can cheat in exams using mobile phones, and it has a bad effect on health. So mobile phones is bad for eyes. What would mobile phones be like in the future? Try to predict. How will mobile phones be in the future? They would be smarter and more advanced. They will be smaller, or they will be more convoluted. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of using mobile phones? The advantages: they can record videos, they can take photos, they access the internet. We can use them for emergency calls. We, as businessmen, can work wherever they are. So they are handy. They make our life easier. It makes communication fast. The disadvantages: using them is a waste of time and money to some people. They cause road accidents or car accidents. They may cause some health problems like it's bad for their eyes. Again, the disadvantages of using mobile phones. Using phones excessively causes health problems. Using a mobile phone while driving causes accidents. Some students misuse the mobile and use it for cheating. Keeping up to date with the latest phones costs you much. It costs much money. So our topic is about on the phone. That's the last unit, Unit 6. Look at these old mobile phones. What kind of mobile do you have? Is it new or old? Of course, it's a new one. What should we do with our old mobile phones and why? Would you buy it? Would you recycle it? Would you throw it? Would you give it as a present or a gift to your friend or young brothers or sisters? This is what we are going to do. Please open your workbook, page number 38. Before reading the table about mobile phone, answer these questions. What do people do with their old mobile phone when they buy a new one? Give two possible answers or two possibilities. Question B. Why is it a good idea to recycle old mobile phones? Think about the answers. Now check your answers. What do people do with their old mobile phone when they buy a new one? Give two possibilities. Give their old phone to friend or family member. Return it to the shop to get a discount on the new phone. Throw the old phone away. Recycle the phone. So there are four possibilities of what you can do with your old mobile phone. The fifth one, sell the phone to a specialist company. Why is it a good idea to recycle old mobile phones? We should recycle old mobile phones. Why? Because phones can damage the environment if you throw them away. In some parts of the world, people use second-hand phones instead of buying new ones. So the advantages of mobile phones, we mentioned them before. Some people give their phones to their younger siblings to make sure that they are still being used. Sibling. Sibling. Brother or sister. If you buy a new cell phone, you can dispose of your unwanted items and then pass on your old one to your sibling. Pass on. To give something to someone else after one has had it or finished with it first. Old phones are banned as rubbish. Then they are cleaned, repaired, and recycled in recycling points. Bin. How recycling your old phone can make you feel better. Bin. To place something in a recyclable in which you deposit trash or recyclable material. Disadvantages of cell phones. Disposable batteries can damage the environment. Disposable. Disposable intended to be used once and then thrown away. When we go on a picnic, we take disposable dishes and cups. Reclaim your power. It is now time to reclaim your power. You have always had it. Reclaim. Phone companies reclaim phones and then buy them to some countries as second-hand phones. Reclaim. To retrieve or recover something previously lost, given, or paid. Reclaim means recover. So let's check the new vocabulary we studied today. Bin. Disposable. Pass on. Reclaim. Sibling. Study the words here. Fill in the space with words from the list. You've got here 5 words and 4 sentences. Fill in the space with words from the list. Bin. Disposable. Pass on. Reclaim. Sibling. Bin. Disposable. Pass. Reclaim. Siblings. Number 1. When we go on a picnic, we usually take. What do we take? Utensils like cups, forks, and spoons. These utensils or items can be disposable. They can be used once. Please read this leaflet and it on to the person next to you. What do you do with the leaflet after reading it? I pass it on to the person next to me. Fight and arguments between often cause parents anxiety. So the fight and arguments between whom? Between siblings. My property was unjustly taken away from me during the war. Can I reclaim it? Now we are going to do the next exercise. What happens to your mobile phone when you are finished with it? You've got here a table that gives you the action, and what happens, you've got here the advantages and disadvantages. Let's read this table and get some information. If you give to your friend or younger sibling, what happens? The phone is passed on and used again, easy and friendly way to dispose of unwanted items. But the advantage is the phone is still used and recycled. It's a good gift. The disadvantage is it could be misused. People may call old phone expecting to talk to you. If you return the phone to a shop, the phone is returned to a company in exchange of discount on new phone model. Shops ask for old phones to be returned when purchasing new ones. Purchasing means buying. The advantage, reduced cost of purchasing upgrade. The disadvantage is shops don't always have return policy. Phones need to be in full working order. If you throw the phone away, the phone is simply banned as rubbish. It can be end up in landfill sites. Old phones which appear broken are often banned. The advantage, it's easy and hassle-free. It doesn't cause any disturbance. The disadvantage, disposable batteries can damage the environment. The phones can often be restored. But if you recycle your old mobile phone, the phone is handed in at recycling point, is seen as a preferable alternative to simply banning phones. Phones are cleaned, repaired, and recycled. The advantage prevents waste. Some charges can benefit from phone recycling. What about the disadvantages of recycling the phone? Recycling facilities can be hard to find, so recycling phones can be expensive. If you sell the phone to a specialist company, the phone is mailed off to specialist companies who clean, repair, and recycle all or parts of the phone. May see TV advert for companies who reclaim phones. Second-hand phones often sent to places like Eastern Europe. The advantage, get money in exchange for something you no longer want. The disadvantage, often don't receive much money for them. Now, we are going to answer some questions concerning this table. The first exercise on the second page, page 39, exercise 2. Now, read the table, choose two of the rows in the table, and rewrite the information contained therein as a paragraph of text. Use the example below as a guide. يعني مطلوب منك تختار صفين أفقي وتكتب باراجراف عنهم. ازاي بتخلص من الموبايل القديم بأي طرق من الطرق. اختار الطريقتين وتكتب الادفانتج والديسادفانتجز of this way. Look at the example here. Some people give their old phones to their friends or younger siblings to ensure their phone is not wasted and is still being used. This is a good idea, as recycling the phone in this manner prevents waste and provides a good gift. However, problems may arise if people continue to call your old phone expecting to talk to you? This is the example. Write a paragraph about two of the rows. How can you get rid of your old mobile phone? You have to mention the advantage or the disadvantage. Now, it's time to read your answers. If I give it to a friend or a younger sibling, I return the phone to a shop or throw the phone away, or recycle phone, sell phone to a specialist company. These are 5 actions you can do with your old mobile phone. Here, what happened? The phone is passed on and used again. Easy and friendly way to dispose of unwanted items. Phone is returned to company in exchange of discount on new phone model. Shops ask for old phones to be returned when purchasing a new one. The phone is simple, banned as rubbish, and can end up in landfill sites. Old phones which appear broken are often banned. The phone is handed an art recycling point and is seen as a preferable alternative to simply banning phones. Phones are cleaned, repaired, and recycled. The phone is mailed off to specialist companies who clean, repair, and recycle all or parts of the phone. May see TV advert for companies who reclaim phones. Second-hand phones often sent to places like Eastern Europe. These are the advantages. Read them, please. And read the disadvantage. Now, find words with these meanings in the text. Give me one word for this meaning or this definition. A reduction of the usual cost of something. Give me one word. Merely or just. A place where waste material is buried and covered with soil. D. Intended to be used once and then thrown away. E. An object that should be used more than once and not thrown away. F. Having had a previous owner, not new. G. An act of giving one thing and receiving another. A particular design or version of a product. Last one, I. To improve. Now, I'll give you 1 minute to find words from the text which have the same meaning. Now, read your answers. A reduction of the usual cost of something means discount or sale. Discount. Merely or just. Simply. A place where waste material is buried and covered with soil. Landfill site. Intended to be used once and then thrown away. Yes, this is a new word. Disposable. An object that should be used more than once and not thrown away. Recycled. Having had a previous owner, not new. Look at these objects in the shop. Second hand. An act of giving one thing and receiving another. Exchange. A particular design or version of a product. Model. Now find words with these meanings in the text. Last one, to improve means upgrade. Now you are going to answer exercise 4. Complete the blanks in this extract with information taken from the table. Opposite. What did you do with your last phone? Did you just throw it away? Many people do this because it's easy and free. Look at the table, find the word which completes the sentence. But did you know that most of the phones that people simply discard can easily be cleaned and recycling phones in this manner is a great idea for two main reasons. Firstly, phones can damage they can end up in sites where they can be dangerous, especially if the batteries are still in them. Secondly, there is a huge demand for phones, particularly in poorer countries in Eastern Europe. In these places, up to a third of the phones in use are previously owned. Now, think about how to complete this passage. Now, it's time to take your answers. What did you do with your last phone? Did you just throw it away? Many people do this because it's easy and hassle-free. But did you know that most of the phones that people simply discard can easily be recycled, cleaned, and sold? Recycling phones in this matter is a great idea for two main reasons. Firstly, phones can damage the environment. They can end up in landfill sites where they can be dangerous, especially if the disposable batteries are still in them. Secondly, there is a huge demand for second-hand phones, particularly in poorer countries in Eastern Europe. In these places, up the third of the phones in use are previously owned. After reading strategies, why is it a good idea to recycle old mobile phones? Recycling old mobile phones is a good idea to be used again and to help make the environment clean. What do people do with their old mobile phones when they buy new ones? They usually sell them or give them to their siblings. Now, over to you. Why do you think young people keep changing their mobiles to go along with the latest technology? Now, let's revise the new vocabulary in these two exercises. Choose the right word from A, B, C, and D to complete the sentence. 3 days after my arrival, my suitcase from the lift luggage office. What did you do? I reclaimed. I have three brothers and sisters. 3 brothers and sisters are 4 siblings. Fill in the space with the correct word from the list. Bin, passed on, sibling, disposable. Number 1. We have a shortage of good grammar books. The very few we have are among us. They are passed on. They are passed on among us. Doctors use disposable gloves to avoid the spread of viruses and infections. There was a great sibling competition between Hamad and his brother. Now, You've got your questions that summarize the lessons 1 and 2 and 3 about mobile phones. What do people do with their old mobile phone when they buy a new one? They give it to a friend or a younger sibling, they return it to the shop, they throw it away, they hand it to a recycle point, they sell the phone to a specialist company. Why is it a good idea to recycle old mobile phones? To clean, repair, and reuse them, and to reduce pollution, to keep the environment clean. What are the advantages and disadvantages of giving your old mobile to a friend or a younger sibling? The advantage: phone will be used again. It's a good gift. The disadvantage: it could be misused. People may call old phone numbers. What are the advantages and disadvantages of recycling your old mobile? Prevents waste. Some charities can get benefit. The disadvantage: recycling facilities can be hard to find, so recycling is very expensive. And we'll end with this translation. Translate these two sentences into good English. هل توافقني الرأي عندما أقول أن الهاتف المحمول أصبح ضرورة لكل الناس بمختلف أعمارهم ووظائفهم؟ Do you agree with me that mobile phones have become a necessity for all people of various ages and jobs? نعم، فالطلاب يستخدمونه ليخبروا والديهم بأماكنهم وسبب تأخيرهم، والشباب يستخدمونه للتواصل مع أقرانهم، والآباء يستخدمونه للاطمئنان على أولادهم، كما أنه يستخدم من قبل الجميع لأهمية تطبيقاته مثل الساعة والتقويم والمنبه ودفتر الملاحظات والدخول على الإنترنت، أو قد يستخدم لأخذ الصور أو تسجيل مقاطع فيديو. Yes, students use them to tell their parents where they are and why they are late. Young men use them to communicate with their friends, and parents use them to check on their children. It can be used by all because of its important applications as calendars, watch, alarm clock, a notepad, logging on the internet, or it can be used to take photos and record videos. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to complete your workbook. Until we meet again, thank you and goodbye.
Sibling.
Pass on. bin,
disposable,
reclaim,
bin,
disposable,
pass on,
reclaim, sibling,